I mean, if they do soldier skins, maybe make it look, make him. Oh, I'm gonna die. Yeah. All right, what's up, guys? Dork Sparse. I think this is gonna be like the last few days I play Delta Force before the open beta, at least for Battlefield 6 comes in, because just like everyone else playing Delta Force, you know, the carbon clone copy of Battlefield, this game's probably gonna be dead once. It's probably gonna be dead once the beta drops. Who even knows? I just know that I'm definitely gonna be moving forward. I mean, Delta Force is fun and all. It's definitely craved that itch for a Battlefield game. The one issue with the game, obviously, is the use of the operator system, which it does work. Let me go save my buddy here. It works, but at the same time, it doesn't. Because at the end of the day, I just want to play a very, very simple Battlefield game without any nuances or quirks or gimmicks. Even though it's nice that the operators do enhance the way you play each specific class. Like for me, I'm playing Luna, and not only am I playing Luna, she has a unique version of the recon class, which allows you to essentially use her bow and arrow. She's got two different types of arrows, special arrows. I'm using a compound bow that you actually unlock through this event, but her kit actually includes an arrow, which you see here. This is the Volt arrow. Good for AoE or small AoE damage. It's a good way to lock down corridors in particular. But I like her because I just like archery characters to begin with. Let's see. Oh, that was a bad place to put down a spawn point. This is just an enhanced way to play Recon rather than just playing a basic vanilla version of Recon. This is all Delta Force is. It just enhances the way you can play a certain class, which is pretty cool and all. I do like the way that works, but at the same time, it's probably a little bit too much because right now with the way the operators work, some operators are obviously a lot more powerful than others, like Luna in particular for the Recon class. About 80% of players that you'll find in a game, including my squad, I mean, my squad's a good example of it, is more Recon players will be playing Luna as opposed to this person right here in front of me. That's Hacklaw, the other Recon specialist. Now, what makes Hacklaw different from Luna is that Hacklaw is more of a close range specialist. Her kit allows you to... Oh, how did I miss that? Her kit allows you to detect campers, or not campers. Well, it could also detect campers, but it will detect the 3 closest enemies to you in proximity, and then between those 3 it actually further detects who is even closer of the 3, which is actually pretty neat, and it helps a lot with tight spaces, especially when you're trying to flank properly and you don't want to get spotted or anything like that. It's a good way to get the drop on players, but those players can also detect when Hacklaw is near them, because when she acts a signal decoder, you'll get a small little glitch on your interface like I just did before I died. And there's ways to figure stuff out like that. Let's see, can I get a drop on this guy? Yep. Another one? He moved. Let's see. We're in the back lines. The other thing I like about Delta Force is it does have destructible environments, probably not to the extent that is completely Levolution, like in Battlefield, but it's still there. So there are other ways to get into these buildings that isn't just relegated to... Oh, it's a flash drone. All right, you saw that little beep there. That was actually Hacklaw right there, this one, using signal decoder. Got the drop. Oh, okay. But there are other ways to get in. Like this building here is actually destructible. It's not fully destructible, so you can't bring it down like you can in a Battlefield game, but you can break the walls down and make it easier to kind of scramble in there and capture this point, which is what we're trying to do right now. You know, it works. It's been a fun game for a free-to-play game, and from what I saw in the Battlefield 6 trailer, at least for the multiplayer trailer, it's actually pretty cool that we're getting, I think they said 9 maps. One of them is actually Operation Firestorm. Operation Firestorm from Battlefield 3 has always been one of my favorite maps. It's actually the map I quickly got the hang of flying mechanics, especially with using the airplanes. Can't remember which airplane it was. Can I get a... Yeah, look at this. That's a little bit over the top for Delta Force, but for a Battlefield clone, but you know, it is what it is. How'd I miss those? Sometimes you hit it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes those close range kills will be insta-kill with the compound bone. Sometimes it's not. And that was a fully a fully knocked back arrow too, but oh well. The one thing that I will say with Delta Force, and it's actually a prime example too with this video, is this particular map that we're on, this dam, I think it's called Zero Dam. It's a pretty terrible map design. It's way too linear for 64 players. Oh, I missed again. I should have just mailed it in. It's way too linear for 64 players because there's not a whole lot of flanking spots with this level. It's very multi-leveled, by the way. I think there's like 4 or 5 different levels once you get to this area here. And they're all corridors. It makes it really hard to try and flank. And when that happens, it just becomes more of a stalemate. A lot of times it'll come down to the wire, like maybe like 2 to 3 tickets remaining. But that's the other good thing too. If this wasn't a Battlefield game, I think the games on this particular map would not last very long. 249 is quickly dropping down. Those are the ticket count. That's the amount of reinforcements we have for the attacking team. So it's a pretty sizable, if you look, that was like on the shin or something, and it was still killed, but whatever. It's 249 tickets, but when you start the battle, you actually start off with 500 tickets. So you get a sizable amount of reinforcements, which means the games are longer. And I would love to see this on like Operation Metro or something with these amount of tickets, but you can only do that in a mod, or not a modded game, but only in a custom server. But here in Delta Force, it's actually a core mechanic where you're given 500 tickets to start with for your reinforcement pool for attackers, as opposed to, what was it? It was like 125 tickets, or I think it was even 100 tickets for some places. So when you played, like in Battlefield 3, when you would go and play Operation Metro, you know, obviously one of the better maps, one of the better close quarter maps, because we didn't have to deal with vehicles and all that. It was such a fun infantry only map. Because of how linear it was, a lot of the times the games would end at a stalemate, and you know, you just couldn't capture the next set of objectives or anything like that. And the amount of tickets that you could get, I think it was 100 tickets in Battlefield 3, if I remember right, that for vanilla servers, you just can't really work with that with such a small amount of tickets. Here, I don't know if they're going to be doing that in Battlefield 6. I mean, we'll have to wait until... Oh, look at that. That was a trick shot. We'll have to wait until the beta drops and see what the ticket counts are looking like. But I'm really hoping that they increase the tickets to maybe 150, 170. I would love just a small, moderate increase to the ticket count, just so that way, one, the attackers get a better chance at being able to move up. I mean, this is assuming that we're talking about Rush in particular, which this is what this mode is. It's called Attack and Defend in Delta Force, but really, it's just essentially... Oh, look at that. He was healing his buddy. But essentially, this is just Delta Force's version of Rush, but with, you know, increased ticket counts, which is what I'd love to see. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Let's see. Okay. That's really all I want to see in Battlefield 6, because it already looks promising. Not promising enough to where I'm going to pre-order it. I'm still cautiously optimistic about it. The pre-orders look cool and all, but I really hope they don't go overboard with the soldier skins, as they're calling it. We really need them to focus more on the gameplay rather than delivering on skins. I don't really care about skins in a first-person shooter. I don't think anyone really does. The only time skins make sense is when you're using them, or when you're using them. Ooh. Oh. The only time it makes sense for skins, and where I would love to see more skins, is obviously a third person, like Marvel Rivals or Overwatch games, where it actually makes sense to actually have these really nicely detailed skins. Then that's when it makes sense. Now, if Delta Force was... I aimed for the other guy instead of focusing on this guy, but whatever. But anyway, that's when skins make sense. Maybe if we were playing like a third-person Battlefield clone, you know, instead of it first-person shooter, it's all third-person shooter, then yeah, skins will be perfectly fine, just as long as they're not too silly. I don't like the fact that, you know, when I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6, I would be getting killed by a turtle from, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover, and then obviously I was gonna melee him, and then obviously, you know, all these crossover skins, like getting like Beavis and Butthead and the Cheech and Chong and whatever. I mean, I hate it all. I was happy to actually finally Nox's Whirlwind Disc. Yeah, I was finally happy to just uninstall Black Ops 6 and not worry about it ever again. I think at this point I'm like pretty much done with Black Ops. or not Black Ops, but Call of Duty in general, because all they're worried about now is gameplay, or not gameplay. All they're worried about now are skins for operators, operator skins, and weapon bundles and all that for skins, rather than fixing core gameplay issues. Trick shot. Oh, look at that. I got her in the hip. No, I got her in the thigh. The bow feels a bit inconsistent, but at the same time, it's also very satisfying to use. I'm really hoping that Battlefield 6, I mean, it's a little bit on the iffy side that the pre-order bonuses include 4 soldier skins, as they're calling it. I'm really hoping that they don't really continue with that moving forward. I mean, if they do soldier skins, maybe make it look, make him. Oh, I'm gonna die. Yep. I don't know what I was doing there. But if they're going to be doing soldier skins in Battlefield 6, make those skins make sense. I want Battlefield 6 to look like a spiritual successor to Bad Company 2. For me, when I look at the visuals, when I saw the visuals for both the campaign teaser and the multiplayer reveal, it reminded me that it's a combination of Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, and Battlefield 4 combined. Although between the three, I love the visual aesthetic of Battlefield 3. Battlefield 4, I didn't mind too much. But I just, for some reason, Battlefield 3 just, it was like the it factor for me. Let's throw out a UAV, arrow. Yeah, there's a lot of guys there. So can I get anyone with a quick volt arrow? How about a grenade? You see, this is one thing I like about the grenades in particular, the arc. It'll actually show you where you'll actually land the grenade, so that's pretty nice. I do like that marker aspect of it. Now, 9 maps for Battlefield 6 to start the multiplayer out with. That's actually not too bad. I think that's 9 maps including Operation Firestorm. I mean, I would obviously love to see Operation Metro make its way back into Battlefield 6. I would love to see a remaster of that map. At the same time, though, ooh. That guy was about to res me. But at the same time, I don't want too many maps where, because it looks like right now it's going to be a variety of maps. So it's going to have a combination of maps that'll make it pretty useful. Ooh, just spawning right on top of of artillery. But it looks like they're going to balance it out between a mix of infantry combat, land and air combat, and then vehicle combat. I am perfectly okay with that. I would just love to see Operation Metro. I don't mind just doing infantry only maps. Something that, oh, look at that. Just see that. Again, compound bow is very satisfying to use. No, that guy's it. So yeah, it looks to be an actual variety here in Delta Force. Everything, I mean, besides this map is basically a ground infantry only map. There are no vehicles in here, except for the first part of that building where you can actually use vehicles, but yeah, they don't last very long. But Delta Force is just pretty much all ground combat. There is no dogfighting in this game, so there's no planes. There are helicopters, but they're seldomly used just because of how quickly they can get shot down or how overpowering they are if no one ever shoots them down. Did someone drop? Yeah. Where'd I get him? That didn't look like a kill shot. But I'll take it. And you know what? I'm perfectly fine with that. You know, it's basic. Delta Force is basically just infantry combat. There is some vehicle combat. Sometimes the tanks can get a little bit out of control. If no one's taking care of them, those tanks can be basically bad spawn. Those tanks can basically become unkillable, but they are easy to kill, especially when you combine it with Luna. Luna, with her volt arrow, you shoot a volt arrow directly at a vehicle. It'll actually give them a lock-on target. So for a brief moment in time, if an engineer is using an unguided rocket launcher, it'll turn into a guided rocket launcher, which is actually pretty cool. I do like the fact that there is some synergy in this game. But again, that is a layer of combat that we don't really need. I was going to revive him. Basically a layer of combat that really isn't needed because there is already a whole lot of teamwork that's already being presented in Battlefield. That's kind of the whole reason for the class-based system. We don't really need operators to enhance that. But I'm never ever going to dog the operator system and class-based system together. I don't know what they call it in Delta Force. It just, for Delta Force, it works. For Battlefield, I'm not sure it will. And it looks like Battlefield 6 is just sticking to classes only, which means no operators. It's strictly coming down to the skill of the player, the teamwork that they can present themselves with. Oh, that guy uses zip line. See if we can get him. Looks, he's probably dead. Yeah, he's dead. Like I mentioned earlier, definitely. Oh, I didn't see them. Definitely, the game's player count is going to take a plummet. I'm not sure it's going to die overnight, but it is going to plummet pretty badly, considering a majority of Delta Force's player base, including myself, are only playing this game to satiate our Battlefield craving until Battlefield 6 comes out. I didn't really care for Battlefield 2042. 2042 was pretty awful. Playing the beta was enough to tell me that 2042 was going to be pretty bad. And you know what? It was a good thing that they had a beta for it. I know that the game has improved since then. All right, let's just melee this guy. Let his teammates see me get... Yeah, let his teammates see him meleeed from a really cool animation, even though it's a bit over the top. Oh, how about this guy? Let's melee this guy. See? No. I mean, I personally enjoy this game. I have a lot of fun with the warfare aspect of it, which is what the this mode is called. There is the other mode called Operations, but that is all battle royale, extraction shooter type thing. I know that unfortunately, Battlefield 6 is going to have a battle royale mode. That really sucks. Battlefield does not need battle royale. We have enough extraction shooter battle royale type games already. We don't need the market saturated with that, and definitely Battlefield does not need to have that mode, because this, if you want to play that, I mean, there's Escape from Tarkov, there's this game Delta Force, there's Fortnite, there's PUBG, and then there's a whole lot of more like indie game type battle royales. There's a ton of indie game battle royales that you can find on there, which is kind of ridiculous. There's also that top-down battle royale anime themed one. I forget what it's called. There's enough there that you don't need to have a AAA title like Battlefield include a, what's that? Oh, it's up there. To include a battle royale game. I mean, that's not Battlefield's identity. Battlefield's identity is large-scale combat, 64 players, land, air, and sea. That's what Battlefield is. Not when you think Battlefield, that's what you think, right? Fully destructible environment, 64 players, tanks, helicopters, APCs, just a little bit of everything there. That's what Battlefield is, not Battle Royale. Battle Royale is take it somewhere else. I absolutely hate Battle Royale games. But anyway, that's kind of like my take on it. So far, let's see what's it's looking at. We have captured B2. We still need to capture B1, but we have to hold on to B2 until we can capture B1. Let's throw a grenade there. The one thing I hate about this game, and you're looking at it right there, are smoke grenades. So the medics, the support class, use smoke grenades, and they actually can use a variety of smoke grenades. There's like a smoke grenade that actually heals you if you're within the smoke. Then there's one that blinds you, and then obviously you have just the traditional white smoke. The thing that sucks about it, and I'm hopefully Battlefield 6 does not recreate this, is allow us the use of thermal optics to actually see through smoke. Because right now Delta Force has optics, thermal optics, but they don't actually allow you to see through smoke, which is kind of defeats the purpose of using a thermal optic. There's a hack claw nearby. Let's just see what's going on up there. We're clear. Yeah, I mean, there's a variety of optics to choose from in this game, and I thought that thermal optics would actually make it easy to deal with the constant smoke, because every time someone throws a smoke, they'll immediately say, okay, start pushing through, start running through the smoke. But then what's the point? You're just gonna get gunned down anyway. I hate having to blindly run through smoke and then blindly get killed from blind fire, especially in tight corridors. Why throw smoke in a corridor and then expect your team to survive running through that smoke and getting to the other end? I hate it. And then thermal optics is just, there's no point in using them when you can see much better without. So hopefully Battlefield 6 does include thermal optics, but allow us to actually see through smoke. Because like the one thing I'll give Call of Duty is the fact that it'll include thermal optics, but allow us to see through the smoke. Oh, I just hit a Seneva. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Oh, we got 44 tickets left. We're definitely not capturing B1. The other thing that sucks about this map in particular is we do have the kill streaks, but both of these are in really, really bad spots where you cannot make use of the artillery. You can barely make use of the guided missile, which is basically like an OKO type move. Not only does it kill everything within its radius, but everyone that gets killed within the radius of the guided missile cannot be revived. That's pretty cool. It's like those things can be game changers for sure. Just throw a bolt arrow out there to harden off that catwalk. There's another thing of smoke. melee this guy. I got you. Reviving a teammate. Oh, it's not, doesn't really matter. Oh, looks like we are going to be able to capture B1, maybe. Maybe we'll actually be able to get it. Every time you capture a sector, you'll gain 100 reinforcement tickets. But even if we were to capture this, we're not going to have the tickets needed to make the push. Easy double kill. Yeah, we still lost. Oh well, you know what, this game was long enough for me to make this video, and you know what, good enough for me. I think I've said my piece on Battlefield 6. Hopefully the future for Battlefield 6 is going to be bright. It is gonna suck though for Delta Force. Delta Force is a fun game, but unfortunately it probably is going to more than likely die on Battlefield's full release, but it is gonna suffer a pretty heavy player penalty during the open beta sessions for Battlefield 6. And if Battlefield 6 ends up releasing next year, then you know what, maybe just a little bit more time with Delta Force, but who knows. It's not looking good for Delta Force, because again, a lot of the player base, including myself, we're just waiting for Battlefield 6. All right, this is Dork Sparse signing off.